All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone that taught me this truth through the Holy Spirit, and in sincere peace, blessings, and salutations to you, Akim, across the four corners of the earth that are presenting this knowledge and truth and this sincerity. It's the brother Barzal from the GMS Arizona Campbell as well. With another quick lesson to edify through the Holy Spirit unto you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the true children of Israel according to the scriptures and according to prophecy. Shalom. I want to go into the chariots in this video, and I got a video queued up from the beloved brother out there in the Bay Area camp in LA, going into these quote-unquote drone sightings that are happening and taking place ultimately all across the country, but they're talking about the drone sightings that have been taking place out in New Jersey. That's kind of the headline right now, but I want to get this before I play the video, because brothers, whether these are some type of technology that this devil has, or whether they are the chariots of Israel, which I believe they're the chariots. I believe that they are the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, but whether they are or not, we know at some point an actual invasion is going to take place. So when we see things like this, and we believe that we're close to that time, we, in our spirit, we like, hey, this it could be it. So it's exciting. We really get a spiritual boost by seeing these types of events take place. Because ultimately it shows that our redemption draweth nigh, that we're close to going home, which is the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate goal in this thing, is to go home. When we say home, and we're talking about back to our promised land, the land of Israel that was promised unto Abraham, down to Isaac, down to Jacob, which Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, our forefather. So with that, let's jump into the scriptures. This is Matthew 24 and 30. It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." Because it's going to be a very glorious event. So Yahweh Shai, who the world nearly calls Jesus, is coming back to this earth by way of a so-called UFO. And he's bringing thousands upon thousands of angels with him. So everybody on the earth is going to see this event. It's going to be very powerful, very glorious, on the way that the Lord is going to return to this earth. Verse 31, it says, "And he shall send his angels," right? The angels that are going to accompany him in the ships. "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." And that's the exciting part about this. When we see these clips, we believe they're the angels, and those same angels are at some point, and Lord willing, the near future, they're going to be bringing destruction to tear down Esau's kingdom, and they're also going to be bringing deliverance. And we bring this out all the time, because what they're going to be doing is gathering together the elect from the four winds, from the four corners of the earth. The elect are going to be gathered by way of these chariots, you see. And so it's beautiful when we see that they're, in this news clip I'm going to play, they're talking about that the chariots are showing up in Arizona, as far west as Arizona, and as far east as New Jersey, called Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see, because that's ultimately the way that this thing is going to take place, man. Those chariots are going to be all over the earth, gathering the elect. So let's play the video clip. I sped it up to like 1.25 because it's a 9-minute clip, to kind of speed that up a little bit. But After the clip, I'll grab a few more precepts, and then we'll close it out. Lord willing, we set it fire.
I've raised the issue, as has my colleagues, Valiatakis and others in New Jersey and New York, about these drone sightings. So last night I was on the beach in Island State Park in Ocean County with the sheriff. He has been working it every single night. He's got his own tethered drones chronicling. One of his officers 2 nights ago saw 50 drones come in off the ocean right there. So we thought maybe they'll replicate it. They didn't, but we thought it was a possibility. Last night we had a number of other people there, including a commanding officer from the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water, followed right behind them. And I said, what's the rules of engagement? I mean, you do it if you're fighting against a narco trafficker or something. And they said, we don't know, we don't have any.
Last night, a constituent saw one of these drones hovering over the Verrazano Bridge, which connects Staten Island and Brooklyn. And on one side of that, you have the Coast Guard base at Fort Wadsworth. And on the other side of that, we have an Army base in Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn. And so it is very concerning that they're choosing to fly these things over, as Phil Murphy said, sensitive infrastructure or military installations. And we deserve and demand answers. And we would expect our government agencies to have those answers for elected officials.
So I did reach out to the commanding officer at the Joint Base, which is also in my district, and talked to him. Had a very good conversation. Colonel Anthony Smith, Joint Base Fort Dix McGuire, the 87th Air Wing, Air Base Wing today. And I said, I know you have the capability, you've put out press releases, to identify and bring down drones. Why can't you deploy them, at least to the ocean? Bring one of these down, find out who's doing it. They have the capability. They said we don't have the authority, only within the parameters of our base. Well, there's a national interest here. Our jets fly over the ocean all the time for trading, so that perimeter is larger. So I did write Secretary Lloyd Austin asking that capability that may be sitting in a closet somewhere. I know they use it all the time, but bring it out. And I'm not saying you got to share it with the sheriffs. It'd be nice. Just do it yourself. The interest of the American public. So I would ask if you would echo that request. I mean, DOD's got the capability, and maybe Homeland Security does as well. When we had a Zoom meeting with Secretary Mayorkas, our governor put it together, and I appreciated that. But I asked them, why can't we just track where they go to?
Well, over the past few weeks, hundreds of eyewitnesses have now reported seeing large-size UFOs or drones, you can call them whatever you like, hovering for hours, not minutes, over parts of the United States, from Arizona to New Jersey to North Carolina, all across the United States. Many reports that these are hovering over military installations as well. And now we know that the FBI is actively investigating these UFOs. In fact, we just got word that these UFOs are now hovering over federal agents' homes. Listen.
Well, one of the ships was in fact inspected by the Coast Guard and they couldn't find anything. The thing is that there were several other suspicious ships in the region that they never got to. And well, it gets worse. Just a couple of months earlier, there were several mystery drone flights over our nuclear testing range in Nevada, just north of Las Vegas. And again, nothing was done. And it gets even worse. Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their homes as if to say, hey, we know where you are.
What is going on in New Jersey?
So, sir, the FBI and our Newark field office, along with the state and local partners there, the Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity over that part of New Jersey, including proximity to sensitive sites and areas of concern. So we do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights. But we're actively investigating. What the Bureau has done to aid our state and local partners is what we generally do, enlist the help of the interagency, enlist the help of the public. There's a tip line there, that 1-800-CALL-FBI, tips.fbi, for information from the public that could help us resolve this. It is concerning.
Is the public at risk? Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that, but we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
Mayor, thank you, first of all, for your time. You've seen these drones. Before we talk about the theories on the source of them, kind of just describe what you've experienced.
Been hearing about them, but last Tuesday night, a resident in town, one of my neighbors on my block, said that there were 8 overhead over our elementary school and municipal complex, which are on the same block. So I got in my car and I rode around here. And by the time I got around here, which is only about a half-mile ride, the drones had all moved east over the town of Dover, New Jersey, kind of in between us. There's a large county park, and they were everywhere. I have a video of, it was 4 with a kind of a stationary drone. What it appeared to us was there was 1 drone that was just stationary and 4 were going back and forth in a scanning pattern. I'm a little older, so I would, look like Pong from back in the day, right? Back, forth. And they went over the town of Dover. I went down into Dover to see a better look at some more pictures, and they moved east again. And that was my own personal observation. I have residents reporting, last night some residents reported that there were, over various times of the evening, they were watching, and there were 12 over our lake. And they can't get pictures because they come out really grainy, and there's like little dots on cell phones. I'm hoping some folks with some really good equipment can get out there. I know there's a fellow in town who has infrared night equipment. He's going out tonight looking. He's going to try to see if he can get. But it's very disconcerting.
What do you think is going on, Mayor? What do you think this is?
Well, to be intentionally a little inflammatory, the state of New Jersey has been invaded by drones. The question and the problem and the nervousness is by who? Because they are everywhere. There are hundreds of these things. I have friends up and down the state. They're reporting down into Jersey Shore, in southern counties, Cape May, all the way up into Sussex County, the length of the state. They're reporting that there are drones everywhere. Theories range from that it's a military exercise because President Trump flies in and out of New Jersey and has property here, to if they're organized clubs who are just putting them up in the air. But the activity of the drones, the methodical scanning back and forth, it gives a lot of people pause because they're not really sure what that's about. There are people who say they're geo tracking or something. I forget what the word is. Scanning, almost like a Google Earth, but a night thing. But it's all crazy speculation in the fact that no one's provided answers.
That's because they haven't come to the prophets, because the prophets are the ones that have the answers. If any of these so-called experts get on YouTube, then they can get answers to these mysterious flying object, this whole mystery behind it, because it's really not a mystery. And there was multiple things said in the video clip, but one of the first things that the guy said is, like, why can't you just track where they go? And see, and this is things that they said like this to lead you to believe that these are actual chariots, because the reason why you couldn't track a chariot as far as like where it goes is because you don't have access to that place, because they come from the heavens. That's a place you don't have access to, and so they can't be tracked. But yeah, this it's the timing of it is interesting, being that Trump is getting ready to be inaugurated, within the next 30 days. It will be, I don't know what they could do as far as politically if this were to be deemed some type of national emergency. But I don't know if that would change anything with the inauguration or the election or, whatever the case, man. So you can't put that past these devils either. But, I say all that to say that, these are exciting times. This is exciting news. Because we know at some point there is going to be an actual invasion of chariots. So let's get 2nd Esdras 13, and I'm gonna read down and I'll close it out. You know what? Let me get this first. Alright. Because this is how the Lord is gonna come back, man. And them chariots see. It says what? That's birds flying. Alright. This is Isaiah 31:5. It says, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. So the Lord's coming back in them chariots, the so-called UFOs, man. As it says, it's birds flying. You know, they got them drones. They doing particular maneuvers. They popping up all over the city. Sometimes they in swarms, in flocks, you would call them, just like birds. Sometimes they'll be in particular formations, right? Okay, this is how the scriptures say that the Lord is going to return, you know, and he's going to return on a ship that's so big. He's going to return on a ship that's so big that you can't see where it ends, you know. But let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, and let's read about it. 2nd Ezra 13:1, it says, and it came to pass after 7 days that I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Now we read it in Matthew, the 24th chapter, that the Lord was going to come back with power and great glory, and his angels were going to be sent out with the great sound of a trumpet to gather together the elect. See, so I mentioned that the Lord was coming back with thousands upon thousands of angels, and we're reading about it here in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. It says, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him, because everybody on the earth are going to be afraid, because they're not going to understand what it is that they're seeing. They're not going to understand the threat. Who is this? Where are they coming from? What are they here to do? Well, it's Yahweh Shai and the angels of the Lord, and they're coming back to destroy this place. And the only people that are going to escape the destruction are the elect of the nation of Israel that believe upon Yahweh Shai. All right, and they are going to be delivered. It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. That's the beams of light, the concentrated fire that's going to be shot from the chariots, just like you see in the movies. For example, the World of Worlds. All right, you're going to see that. It's going to actually take place. You see, these same chariots, so-called drones that you're seeing, man, are going to be destroying people, blasting them to dust and powder, you know, and shooting out that concentrated beams of fire. It says, verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right, these armies are going to get together, and they're going to turn their attention to the problem at hand, being the UFO invasion that's taking place, and then they're going to get together and try to fight against it. You know, Esau, he's written many a movie scripts based off these events that are prophesied to happen in the Bible. Okay? Because it sounds, as I'm reading, it's just like one of these, you know, Independence Day, one of these Hollywood movies. And the thing is, this is where they get these ideas from. And the other part about it is these things are actually going to happen. These events are going to take place right here on this planet Earth. Verse 6, it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. So Esdras in his dream saw Yahweh Shai flying upon a mountain, right? And this is how he describes it. He says, but I would have seen the region or place wherewith the hill was graven, and I could not. He couldn't see the end of it. He couldn't see the beginning and the end of it. It says, and after this I beheld, because it was just so massive. And NASA done caught on their, satellites, ships out there in the heavens that are bigger than the size of the earth. There was a video of a guy that was doing an interview that said, like, where would you manufacture a ship that's 3 or 4 times the size of the earth? Well, you can't build it here. And that's something, you got to think about, because the Lord's coming back on the ship so big that every eye on this planet Earth is going to see it. Verse 8 says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. These armies are going to be in fear, living in terror by the sight that they're beholding of Yahweh Shai returning to this planet Earth in this manner, with this power, with this great glory, on this fathership, with the thousands of angels with him. They're gonna be afraid, terrified. They're not. You look at the capabilities of these chariots. You can hear it in those press conferences that they don't understand it, and these devils is terrified. So imagine when they actually see it. Imagine when the chariots are actually here, they're performing maneuvers, and they start blasting out that concentrated fire. Esau gonna shit himself, but he gonna fight anyway. He gonna send them armies out there, and they're gonna fight, and this is gonna be the outcome. It says, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude. So it's like a flash, right? You got to think about this. All these armies gathered together, and then making it look as easy as possible without even lifting up a fist, a hand to fight. What he did was he sent out the blast of fire, and it said what? So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was perceived. So that's like making everything disappear with ease. This is the type of power that Yahweh Shai is coming back to this earth with. This is the foe that this devil is going to have to stand up and fight against. And that's how easy that Yahweh Shai is getting ready to make it look. It says, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Even Esdras in his dream, when he saw the level of destruction, the display of power, he was afraid, man. He was terrified. This is why you don't want to be on that side of judgment, of the Lord's judgment, because it's going to be very terrible. It's going to be great and very terrible, man. But call all Yahweh Shimi outside. 2025 could be that year where we see these things take place. We praying that 2025 is the year. Verse 12, it says, afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain, and call unto him another peaceable multitude. I ain't gonna go into that or on this video, but yeah, man, that this is the way that the Lord gonna come back, gather together his elect, and also destroy anyone that stands up against him. He's gonna come back and judge. He's gonna come back and destroy the world of Esau, Edom, and it ain't nothing that this devil can do about it. As the scriptures tell us that the destroyer is on his way, and he's going to enter into the house of the thief, which is this so-called white man that's stolen everything that he has. And there's nothing that this devil can do to stop nor prevent what's getting ready to take place, man, with the real UFO invasion. Now, this very well could be the chariots of the Lord. Like I said, I believe that they are. But at some point, the whole world is going to know it. and it's going to be a thing of you know, that it can't be denied. So anyway, again, Lord willing, you're being edified. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh Shemi Yahushai, double honors unto the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, and peace to the hopeful elect out there. Until next time, say shalom.